And now, the moment of truth. Is this your card? Yes! Wow, how did you do that? That's my card! I know. We'll be right back to the world's greatest magicians after these important messages. And now with my magic powers, I say, Alakazooba-doo-boo, and is this your card? Sorry, but no, it's not. Really? Okay, what about this? No, but that's a really good card. I always loved the Seven of Hearts. Good job, Dweeb. Mom, you don't have to pretend. No, I love it. This is such a good card. I'm gonna put this on the fridge. Mom, my son, the card boy. I'm a magician. My whole life has been more or less just me pretending to have it together. The fake it till you make it approach. And that is a strategy I still exercise today, except not just with like my job or whatever, also with going to the grocery store, or talking to the bank man, or whatever other things adults are forced to do around other adults, even though deep down inside I'm ranking my favorite Ninja Turtle villains. Krang is by far number one, by the way, and it's not even close. Ever since I was a little dweeb, I've had this thing where I would see something I liked, something I found impressive, and I'd immediately want to try to do it myself. And like most things I do, it would be with complete unbridled enthusiasm.
Unbridled enthusiasm.
If I watched a documentary about paleontology later that day, I'd be digging up the backyard. If I saw a street performer juggling knives, I'd be failing at juggling butter knives in the kitchen later that night. I'd see some show about computer programmers, and then later that day, the family computer would be utterly and completely broken. Because whether I could actually do these things or not, I'd be trying. It's what I do. I can't just enjoy something, I need to do the thing. Actually, now that I think about it, literally all my hobbies and interests and skills came from little Dweeb seeing things, becoming obsessed with doing the things, and eventually resulting in his own unimpressive version of that thing. And then I'd show my mom, and she'd say it was really good. And she still does. And I'm still doing that. The point of this video is that I am just doing a thing because I want to do my own version of a thing that I saw. I've always wanted to put on my own show. That's one thing that's been with me since the early days. I think it's my love of cartoons and kids documentaries and shows like Bill Nye the Science Guy. You know, making videos attempting to entertain and educate people is something that I just always wanted to do. And I guess that this show that you're watching right now is the version of it that I settled on. An obsession of mine, tech and games, and whatever else I feel like talking about, combined with me wanting to make YouTube videos because I saw other people making YouTube videos and I thought I could do it too. And also my lifelong desire to put on a show. That's the perfect storm for the TechDweeb YouTube channel, I guess. And that's how it went down. I couldn't believe my eyes, I tell ya. Well, there you have it, from the mouth of the key witness. The thing that I was talking about, the news thing, pretty crazy. And now back to you, Brenda. And do you have any idea who this mysterious dog poop lever could be? Well, just between you and me, kid, I think that guy from House 247 might be to blame. Interesting. Oh, what's this? A newspaper, local news, hot off the news machine. Good for you, kid. I'll take one. Mom, what's that shouting outside? Oh, your dad, he's just outside talking to the man from House 247. He's what? Dweeb! Gotta go, Mom. Dweeb! My favorite classic artist is Vincent van Gogh, and I should probably do an art video someday about my favorite artists and why I like them. I went to college for art, by the way. Actually, in my past life, I was a freelance illustrator. I have lots of past lives, though. Most of them are unemployed. I'm not going to get into all that here, but I do want to talk about my favorite artist, Van Gogh, because he's been important to me not just because of his art, but also because of his story. His struggle. I think about Van Gogh all the time. He's basically my imaginary friend at this point. Now, I'm not aspiring to cut my ear off or end up in a mental institution. I'm not ruling anything out, but that is not currently on the 5-year plan. But when you read Van Gogh's letters, you realize that he wasn't just some tortured artist genius who ate yellow paint and made swirly stars. He was a guy who desperately wanted to make things that showed people what was going on inside him. In July of 1882, 100 years before Dig Dug, Van Gogh was going through some stuff. He was struggling. He hadn't sold a single painting, nobody knew who he was, and in a letter to his brother, he basically explained exactly why he kept doing it anyway. And I quote, "In short, I want to get to the point where people say of my work, that man feels deeply. That man feels keenly, in spite of my so-called coarseness. What am I in the eyes of most people? A non-entity, an eccentric, or an unpleasant person? Somebody who has no position in society and will never have. In short, the lowest of the low." Alright then. Even if that were absolutely true, then I should one day like to show by my work what such an eccentric, such a nobody, has in his heart. Vincent basically wanted to prove that even this weird, crazy, unsuccessful nobody that society didn't know what to do with had something inside him worth sharing. And that's what he spent his life trying to do. And obviously, it turns out he did have something to share. Tons, actually. Some sunflowers, a few chairs, a pretty good night sky. But it isn't just what he painted, it's that you can see him in those paintings. He wasn't just showing you some flowers. He was showing you what those flowers looked like after they passed through the weird little meat computer inside Vincent van Gogh. That's the magic trick. You look at those sunflowers and somehow you see Van Gogh in them, but you also see yourself. You recognize some little piece of whatever he was feeling because you felt it too. It is kind of magical, right? Like a guy put some yellow blobs on a canvas 140 years ago and now I'm standing in a museum having a moment. And look, I am not comparing my videos about tiny Game Boys to Vincent van Gogh. I can't stress that enough. But I do think that there's a little lesson in there that I've tried to carry with me. I don't just want to show you a thing, a tech thing or an RPG thing or whatever. I want to show you the thing after it's passed through my weird little meat computer. My excitement about it, my dumb jokes, my stories, whatever feelings I got sloshing around in there that day. I want the stuff that I make to have a little bit of me stuck to it. Not literally. Although you have seen my desk. The way the curves and lines intertwine, you can just feel the internal conflict of the artist. History will remember this as one of the most important pieces the art world has ever known. And this piece I call The Struggles of the Other Time. That one looks like a butt. Shh. Well, it does. No, it doesn't. Don't you know what butts look like? It's totally a butt. Quiet, he's standing right here. Yeah, I know. He drew the butt. He knows. Honey, this is a beautiful heart. Apple heart. Whatever, it's lovely. Beautiful butt, son. It's supposed to be a frog. 300,000 people. That is an absolutely stupid number of dweebs. You could fill a decent-sized city with people who voluntarily clicked a button because they wanted to watch videos about retro games, tiny computers, handhelds, dice, paper puppets, and a pair of hands attached to some mysterious unseen basement creature. Some people think these videos are quick and easy to make, and sometimes they do feel that way to me because I have so much fun making them, but they are objectively a lot of work, at least by volume of my time that they take. An average video takes me about 2 solid days, morning till bed both days, sometimes even longer, like 3 or even 4 for the elaborate stuff. And I'm not saying that to brag, if anything I'm confessing to extremely overzealous personal goals. I could probably spend half as long on these videos and still be sitting here making this 300,000 subscriber video. Like nobody's ever watched an inkless printer review and thought, it's good, but I wish he'd sacrificed another day of his finite human existence to make it better. But I can't help it. I'm kind of obsessed with success, not money success. I would not be doing this if that was my goal. Oh, no, 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 no. I mean, the satisfaction that I get from doing something the way I wanted to do it. Looking back at a video, a skit, a pen and paper game, or whatever other nonsense I spent 3 days hunched over in my basement making, thinking, yep, that's the thing. I did the thing. And as pathetic as this might sound, I think part of that comes from just not wanting to feel like a failure. I mean, I've tried a lot of things in my life. I've made things and put myself out there over and over again, and for most of my life, none of it worked the way that I hoped it would. I always had a great time and I grew and I felt proud, but it needs to work in the big picture for me to be okay with saying, yeah, this is the thing I do with my time. And then somehow this did. And I know that a YouTube channel about tech and video games is probably not the most appropriate place to put my heart on my sleeve and make paper puppet skits about my past and stuff. Not the best place to experiment with solo pen and paper games and other things, the things I do around here. But to my shock and delight, it's working. I get to make ends meet by waking up every morning and making stuff. And I am having the time of my life doing it. And it's because of you that I get to spend every day making stuff. And I need to give a massive thank you to my channel members and my Patreon supporters. I could not be here doing this without you. Or at least I'd have to spend a lot more of my time like flipping burgers or whatever instead of making videos. The job part of this YouTube thing is what lets me do this, but having a successful YouTube job isn't nearly as important to me as just making things that I'm proud of. Like my boy, Vinny Van Gogh. I have this drive to put a little piece of myself into the things I make. Make something that feels like me and then throw it out into the world and hope that somebody else sees a little bit of themselves in there too. And now, somehow, 300,000 of you are here. That number is kind of terrifying to me in lots of ways. I mean, it feels like too big of a number for just me doing this stuff. But it only stresses me out when I think about it too hard. It's not really the number. It's that after a lifetime of trying things and making things and failing at things, I finally found my thing, I think. And I hope you're happy with yourself, because that big number made me feel feelings, all because of you. So you gotta live with that burden. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go rank Ninja Turtle villains until I feel normal again. The magma bubbles up from below the mantle and pushes up a huge volcano.
Lava is cool.
Steve the Science Geek.
Oh yeah.
And the best part is, you can set this up yourself. It has all your old favorite retro games, it's cheap and fun, and you can get one if you want one. There's a link in the thingy below. Anyways, that's it from me. I'm TechDweeb, thanks for watching. Seriously, it's just great that you're here watching. Bye-bye.